For now, let's pivot. Let's switch gears. Let's turn our attention to how many segues can I figure out in 1 second? A lot of them. And talk about rents. Rents are going up quickly in the city. And the interesting thing is that vacancy rates are up as well. So this is very unusual. The actual vacancy rate in Montreal is higher than it's been in a long time. Up by 2.7%, I believe. Or it's at 2.7%, which is higher than normal. And at the same time, rents are going up. And moving day is around the corner, right? July 1st is moving day. Of course, a lot of people move the month before that. And if you've been having trouble finding a place, or maybe you found a place, it's just too expensive. One group is looking to keep rent at a low cost for tenants, and they join me now. Louis-Phillipe Myre is on the line. He's general manager of Interloge. It's a housing nonprofit that buys properties in order to keep the rent where it is. Louis-Phillipe, thanks for coming on the show.
My pleasure. Nice getting me on the line.
Now, tell me about Interloge. How does it work here? I hear a housing nonprofit that buys properties to keep the rent where it is. It almost sounds too good to be true. So how does it work?
It's a nice secret we have in Montreal. So Interloge was formed in 1978. We are a developer and a owner of social and affordable housing. So our mission is to keep loans affordable for people who live in Montreal, especially for low-income housing and middle-income housing. Actually, we have 730 units, mainly in downtown Montreal, in Ville-Marie. Mm-hmm. We are present in 5 boroughs in Montreal. And actually, we're working to add about 1,000 to 1,500 units in the next 5 years.
Now, if you're working to add that number of units, you got to buy those units. The market has exploded, like prices are up. So where's that money coming from? How can you afford? How can a housing nonprofit even afford to buy these properties in the first place?
Yeah, that's a real let's say. It's difficult for us to get opportunities for sure because our business model, we leave some money on the table. We don't collect the full potential of the revenue, which is traditionally associated with housing activities. So we give people money every year, about 2 million. So it's make more difficult for us to buy opportunity at the market value. Uh-huh. So we need to work with communities, municipalities, and private sector to get introduced in private projects, so we can get some units that we could develop for low income housing.
With Louis-Phillipe Myre, general manager of Interloge. It's a housing nonprofit. They buy properties in order to keep the rent at a lower pricing. And now, Louis-Phillipe, when I talk to landlords, one of the things they say to me is like, Elias, the expenses are so high. Like, I got to pay the mortgage. I got to pay the taxes. I got to pay the repairs. This is why I need to increase rents, right? So you must face the exact same issues, right? So can you give it to me from your perspective? How are you keeping rents at a sustainable low level?
Yeah, you're right. We have the same problems. When we have about 15 to 20% of our revenue that goes to taxes, and so it's a lot of money. And we also need to maintain our building in good condition, so people have a household which are in good condition. The key is long-term properties. Okay, mm-hmm. Most of our units we have bought them in the 80s and 90s, and because we don't sell those properties, we can have a good amortization of the loans, the first loans, on a longer period. So we don't have to, every time we buy a new property, it's not as much affordable as the one that we have bought many, many years ago. So that's one key for sure. And the other key is that we get municipalities and government, provincial and federal government involved in financing our project. Because, like I told you, we leave money on the table for our tenants.
Mm-hmm.
So the government need to put some money to make it work, you know.
How do I get one of your rental units? Do you have a waiting list right now? How does it work to get one of the units, the apartments that your nonprofit runs?
Well, it's sad because we don't have any available units. We are full occupied actually, and we don't maintain the list because it's only makes people waiting for us, and we can satisfy them. So people get unsatisfied. So we don't have any list. When we have a unit which available, we call people in the communities, you know, different organisms with whom we work, to find someone which is in need, like would say someone who is close from living in the street, or someone who is have problem at home with violence or things like that. So we go from years to month to years to get somebody who really need that place.
And Louis-Phillipe, you mentioned that you get around $2 million in funding a year. I guess it's primarily from the government. So with that $2 million, what's the game plan for this year? Where does it go? Are you looking at buying a property even if the prices are high? You're looking at buying an additional property?
Well, what I told you must be a misunderstanding. What I told you is that every year. Mm-hmm. We distribute to our tenants about $2 million in low income. You know, okay. That's the difference between the rates, the rate we ask for the unit, considering the market exactly.
Gotcha.
So this is $2 million, about 3,000 by tenants that we give.
Okay.
For new project, we go by opportunity. You know, when we have an opportunity, we get engaged in the process of getting buying the opportunity, and once we get the foot in the door, we work with our financial people with whom we work to finance every project. You know.
Well, Louis-Phillipe, it is a very interesting nonprofit that you run. One that I've got. You have my attention now. I'm very happy to hear about what you do at Interloge. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Louis-Phillipe Myre is general manager of Interloge, a housing nonprofit.